Have you ever found yourself in a new Placia party, a conference, maybe even just a coffee shop, and you see someone across the room? They seem interesting. Maybe it's the way they laugh, the book they're reading, or just an inexplicable warmth you feel from a distance. A thought flickers in your mind. I should go say hi. And then, almost immediately, another, more powerful voice chimes in and shuts it down. Don't be weird, it says. They're probably busy. They look like they already have plenty of friends. So you don't. You look down at your phone, take a sip of your coffee, and the moment passes. The connection, unmade, dissolves back into the ether. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. This internal battle is one of the most common and most silent struggles of modern adult life. And it points to a fundamental reason why we tend not to make friends as often as we truly might. It all comes down to a powerful background idea whose full destructive force we may not even be aware of. It's the silent, pervasive belief that any decent, interesting person already has all the friends they need. Let's unpack that, because it's a heavy piece of mental luggage we all seem to carry. Somewhere deep in our minds, perhaps installed in the schoolyard and reinforced by decades of pop culture, the notion has been lodged that only very sad, socially inept, or somehow lacking people would, at this stage in their lives, still have an open space in their social agenda for a new entrant. We see in movies and TV shows, don't we? The tight-knit group, the inseparable gang, the circle that has been sealed for years. From Friends to Seinfeld to How I Met Your Mother, the narrative is one of a closed social ecosystem. New people might enter as a temporary love interest or a quirky side character, but the core group is sacrosanct. This narrative teaches us a subtle, damaging lesson. Real, successful adulthood means having your people already locked in. So, in our minds, we conclude that almost anyone worth knowing, anyone talented, interesting, or good would long ago have acquired the gang to which they are now continually and irredeemably wedded. To approach them, to suggest friendship, feels like you're auditioning for a role that has already been cast. It feels desperate. But what this punishing and frankly fictional idea completely misses is the profound extent to which a feeling of loneliness and disenchantment is an ongoing, universal, and fundamentally human experience. It is in no way limited to those we might perceive as having reduced appeal. In fact, sometimes the more successful a person appears on the outside, the more isolated they might feel on the inside. Let's think about this. Right now, as you're watching this, the enchanting actor, fresh off a standing ovation, is likely sitting in a quiet hotel room, the adrenaline fading, feeling the stark difference between adoration and true connection. Despite the crowds, they are perhaps lonely. So is the fake concert pianist who spends 8 hours a day in solitary communion with their instrument, whose travel schedule prevents them from putting down roots. So is the renowned biologist who is celebrated for their brilliant mind but may struggle to find peers who share their niche passions. The skilled airline pilot, living a life of perpetual motion between time zones, and the miraculous neurosurgeon who carries the weight of life and death on their shoulders and finds it difficult to talk about their day with anyone who couldn't possibly understand. And yes, even that rather nice-looking person you just spotted in the corner of the room, laughing animatedly with a group of fashionable companions. We see the performance of friendship, the snapshot of joy. We don't see the context. We don't know if these are new colleagues they're trying to fit in with, or old friends they feel they've drifted away from. We mistake the appearance of connection for the feeling of belonging. The truth is, it is open to anyone of sensitivity and charm to fail to find the right sort of allies. Life is long, and we are constantly changing. It's incredibly common to have outgrown your friends from school or university, to realize your values have diverged. It's common to not have landed on congenial spirits at work, where relationships are often circumstantial and professional. It's common to have moved to a new city for a job or a relationship, only to find yourself starting from scratch. And therefore, it's profoundly common and profoundly normal to be spending a lot of your evenings on your own, wishing for a deeper connection. And we can know this for certain of other people for one simple, undeniable reason, because we know it, first and foremost, from the most reliable source of all ourselves. Take a moment for some radical honesty. Think about your own life. On the surface, you probably look like you have it together. You have a job, you have hobbies, you have a history. People who see you at work or see your photos online probably assume your social life is full and complete. They see you laughing with that group in that picture. They see you're busy, but they don't see the quiet evenings. They don't know about the ache of wishing you had someone to call to talk about that strange movie you just watched or to share that exciting piece of personal news with. They have no idea how much you would still like to locate a wise, tender, funny, and interesting new friend. This is a phenomenon sociologists sometimes call pluralistic ignorance. It's a situation where a majority of group members privately reject a norm, but they go along with it because they incorrectly assume that most others accept it. In this case, we all privately feel the desire for more connection, but we publicly perform the role of the self-sufficient, socially fulfilled individual because we think everyone else is that person. We have built a predominantly cold and guarded society by collectively believing a thesis, the myth of the closed circle that we each, implicitly and intimately, know to be untrue based on our own personal experience. We are all walking around, nursing the same secret longing, while projecting an illusion of completeness to one another. So what do? We start a quiet rebellion. We choose to act on a different, more courageous truth. We need to battle that modest, self-critical part of our minds that reads our own isolation as a selective punishment, a sign of our own inadequacy. We must vanquish it with that crucial piece of evidence available directly from our own experience. The next time we spot that interesting person, we should stop contravening the moral of our own lives. We should stop telling ourselves a story about them that we know isn't true for us. The simple, liberating truth is this: we don't have exactly the right people in our social circle, and nor, most probably, do they. This doesn't mean you have to be recklessly extroverted. It means you can give yourself permission to be gently brave. You can afford to shed your false background ideas of social life and go up and say hello. And saying hello doesn't have to be a grand, dramatic gesture. It could be a low-stakes observation. That's a great book, I loved it. Or a simple, shared compliment, I really enjoyed the point you made in that meeting. Or even just a warm, genuine smile that says, I see you. The goal isn't to walk away with a new best friend in 5 minutes. The goal is to open a door, just a crack, and let a little light in. Because in that moment, we aren't just trying to make a friend for ourselves. We are participating in something much larger. We are helping to build a slightly warmer, more open, and more honest world, a world where we all feel a little safer to admit that we have room in our lives and our hearts for one another. You are giving that other person a profound gift, the reassurance that they are not invisible and that their own desire for connection is not strange or needy, but beautifully, universally human. That is a truly powerful thing. We move from being passive observers in our own lives, trapped by our fears, to becoming active creators of the community we wish we had. So, the next time that little voice tells you not to bother, you can answer back with a kinder, wiser truth. You can choose connection over fear. You can take a small step, and in doing so, change not just your world, but the world around you, one hello at a time. If this idea resonates with you, and you'd like more thoughts and tools for living a more connected, emotionally intelligent, and meaningful life, please consider subscribing to our channel. We're building a community here dedicated to exploring these very challenges and triumphs of the human experience. We believe in a world with more open doors, and there's always room for one more. Thank you for watching.